Hey everyone, here's another practice before you watch the next lesson. It builds off the previous exercise, turning it into a real game instead of a concept. And that game is the classic Pong. Make a simplified Pong game that two people can play. You've already made the most logical aspect of the game, which is the bouncing. Now you need to figure out how to set up the paddles. I'll give you a hint. Use Rex to represent both the paddles and the ball. Alright, so here's my code. After I set up the window, I made a variable to store the RGB value for white, so I don't have to type it out over and over again. And remember, it's good practice to capitalize variables that don't change in Python. After that, I made a rect for both the paddles and the ball. Below that are the velocity variables that you've already seen in the first exercise. In the game loop, I check if the up key is being pressed and if the paddle is still contained on the screen. If so, move the paddle, and I do the same thing for both directions for both paddles. Here, I check if the ball rect is colliding with any of the paddles or if it's touching a wall. If so, I flip the appropriate velocity so the ball will bounce. Next, if the ball got past the paddle, reset its position. Because we haven't learned how to draw text onto the screen yet, you don't have to worry about keeping track of scores. Finally, we draw everything onto the screen. The function on this line takes the same parameters as pygame.draw.rect, but instead of drawing a rectangle, it'll draw a circle within the rectangle.